Ever wonder when the first electric car fire happened? Is it a recent headline about a sleek, modern EV? Nope. To find the real story, we have to travel way back in time. Over 120 years ago, to an era you might not even associate with electric cars. Picture this. It's the dawn of the 20th century. Cities are buzzing, not with the roar of internal combustion engines, but with the gentle hum of electric carriages. In places like New York City, electric vehicles were actually the popular choice. They were quiet, clean, and easy to operate. No hand cranking a grumpy gasoline engine. No smelly exhaust fumes. No complicated gear shifts. They were seen as the sophisticated, modern way to travel. Taxis, delivery vans, and personal cars for the wealthy were often electric. Companies like the Electric Vehicle Company had grand plans to build a nationwide network of charging stations and rental fleets. For a moment, it truly seemed like the future was electric. These early EVs were powered by massive lead-acid batteries. It's the same basic technology that still starts our gasoline cars today. But back then, they were the cutting edge. Were heavy, clunky, and filled with corrosive acid. But they worked. People loved the simplicity. You drive your electric runabout during the day and simply plug it into a charging station at night. These stations, often located in public garages, were becoming a common sight. They were the unsung heroes of this early electric boom, staffed by attendants who would manage the complex and sometimes risky process of recharging these giant batteries. And this is where our story takes a dramatic turn. On a chilly late autumn night in 1906, inside a bustling public garage in Manhattan, something went terribly wrong. This wasn't just any garage. It was a hub for the city's electric taxi fleet. Dozens of electric cabs were parked inside, many of them connected to the charging panels, their batteries slowly sipping electricity for the next day's work. The air was thick with the faint, sharp smell of ozone and acid, a normal scent for a place like this. The attendants on duty were going about their routine, checking gauges, flipping switches, and making sure every vehicle would be ready by morning. Suddenly, a strange hissing sound pierced the quiet hum of the garage. It was coming from one of the electric cabs currently on charge. Before anyone could react, a spark ignited. In an instant, the hissing turned into a roar as flames erupted from the vehicle's battery compartment. The materials inside the battery, lead, acid, and a highly flammable hydrogen gas produced during charging, created a volatile and explosive combination. The fire wasn't just burning, it was chemical and intense. Panic ensued. The attendants, armed with little more than sand buckets and a primitive fire extinguisher, rushed to fight the blaze. But this was no ordinary fire. Water seemed to only make it worse, causing the fire to spread with alarming speed. The burning car was parked tightly next to another electric vehicle, and within moments, the second car's batteries also caught fire. A chain reaction had begun. The garage, filled with dozens of vehicles and their highly flammable batteries, was turning into a death trap. The fire department was called, their horse-drawn steam pumpers racing through the streets of New York. But by the time they arrived, the garage was a raging inferno. The heat was so intense, it buckled the steel support beams of the building. Firefighters battled bravely, but they were fighting an enemy they didn't fully understand. The toxic smoke and the risk of further explosions made it an incredibly dangerous situation. They could only work to contain the blaze and prevent it from spreading to adjacent buildings. When the sun rose the next morning, it revealed a scene of absolute devastation. The garage was a smoldering ruin. The elegant electric carriages were now just twisted, charred metal skeletons. The fire was a major news story. Newspapers ran sensational headlines about the electric vehicle holocaust and the death-dealing current. The public, who had once seen EVs as safe and sophisticated, were now faced with a terrifying new reality. These clean, quiet machines could turn into explosive fireballs. This single event sent a shockwave through the burgeoning electric vehicle industry. It wasn't just about the financial loss of the destroyed vehicles in the garage. It was about the loss of public trust. People started asking questions. Were these batteries safe? What happens when they overheat? Could my car just spontaneously combust while charging in my own garage? The narrative began to shift. At the same time, the gasoline-powered automobile was making huge leaps forward. Henry Ford was perfecting his assembly line, making gasoline cars cheaper and more reliable. The invention of the electric starter by Charles Kettering in 1912 eliminated the dreaded and often dangerous hand crank, which was one of the biggest drawbacks of gasoline cars. Suddenly, the advantages the electric car once held ease of use and cleanliness seemed less significant compared to the gasoline car's longer range, faster refueling, and now a perceived advantage in safety. The 1906 fire wasn't the sole reason the first wave of electric cars faded away, but it was a powerful and symbolic blow. It highlighted a fundamental challenge that engineers are still grappling with today: battery safety. How do you store a massive amount of energy in a small, portable package without it becoming unstable? Fast forward to today. The world is in the middle of a second electric vehicle revolution, and the technology is light years ahead. We've swapped heavy, leaky, lead-acid batteries for sophisticated lithium-ion packs. These modern batteries are managed by complex computer systems that monitor temperature, voltage, and current hundreds of times a second to prevent the very kind of thermal runaway that destroyed that New York garage. And yet, the headlines persist. We still hear stories of electric car fires. While statistically very rare in fact, gasoline cars are far more likely to catch fire. These incidents capture our attention for the same reason they did over a century ago. It's the fear of the unknown, of a new technology, and the powerful energy it contains. The story of the first EV fire is a fascinating and important reminder. It shows us that the challenges we face today are often echoes of the past. The conversation about battery safety, range anxiety, and charging infrastructure isn't new. Our ancestors were having the exact same discussions over 100 years ago. It's a testament to the incredible persistence and ingenuity of engineers and innovators who have spent more than a century working to perfect the electric dream. From the smoldering ruins of a 1906 garage to the sleek, silent EVs on our roads today, the journey has been long and filled with challenges. But it also shows that the vision for a cleaner, quieter, electric future has been a powerful one, capable of being reignited even after being nearly extinguished by flames. Thank you so much for watching. It's a piece of history that really puts our modern world into perspective. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden history of technology. See you in the next video.